Hey guys, a quick note before I start talking about the stun zombie build. I have been sick for the last couple days and haven't played the game much. And before that I was playing solo Southbound hardcore flashback event. Sadly my favorite character also ripped. That's why there wasn't a lot of content on the YouTube. And I am starting to feel the burnout. So until the new league starts, probably expect only one video per week. Well, enough about that, let's talk about build. So my goal with this build was just to test the stun viability for zombies. I did regular strength zombie build in the past, so I didn't want to do exactly the same, so that's why I'm doing stun. Unfortunately, there are very limited options how to get stun for zombies. There are basically 4 ways to increase the stun. Do more damage with single hit, use Ruthless support to get more base stun duration every third attack, or reduce enemy stun threshold. Since enemies are not affected by stun threshold from your passive skill tree or your weapons, the only way to get enemy stun threshold reduction is from the stun support gem and endurance charge on melee stun support. While stun support gem does not provide any damage, but endurance charge on melee stun does provide you up to 9% more damage while at 3 endurance charges, well, for zombies. Because zombies can only have 3 endurance charges. And long story short, you can stun up to like 3 million life bosses. And if you include the any map mods that reduce your zombies damage in any way, then obviously it's even harder to stun. So I'll actually give you the conclusion right now, because I cannot justify getting stuns over just getting flat out more damage. I do have a 6-link zombie setup, and for map clearing it is fine, and for bossing is also fine, because well, you simply stun the boss and it just doesn't move anywhere. It does provide extra safety for you, but that's about all. By swapping 2 support gems you can go full damage. Zombies have like about 130,000 shaper DPS, and I do have 7 zombies, so that's close to 1 million. So you can use this build as a normal strength stacking Baron zombie build. It is endgame viable and it should be able to do shaper. This is only level 85 and I believe I tried guidance, but I can't find those clips anymore. So let's quickly talk about the items. Obviously the Baron helmet, because you give your half of your strength to your minions, and once you reach 1000 strength you get leash from your zombies, which is very nice. So the rest of my items, well, most of my items are just focusing on getting 1000 strength. And there are many ways and many uniques that could help, like Warpath boots, Astramentis amulet, but I probably went with more expensive way and tried to get enough strength on my rare gears, which also give life, resistance as other stuff. Or you could also get +1 zombies on the amulet and on the body armor. By the way, I do have +1 zombies on my body armor. And I am using Mon'tregul's grasp, which makes my zombies way tankier and deal way more damage, but you can only have half of your maximum amount of zombies. So basically this unique weapon cuts your zombies in half, and obviously cutting 1 zombie in half makes them dead. Well, more dead than undead. So you need either 14 or 16 zombies. So if you can afford and if you can manage, you can get 16 zombies, which would make you have 8 zombies with this. Or if you can't afford, just get 12 zombies and you will only have 6 zombies, which is still fine and you will still have plenty of damage. So besides the Mon'tregul's grasp and the Baron helmet, I also have Meginord's Vise gloves, which gives well, 100 strength. And then I have 2 violent dead jewels, 3 efficient training jewels to convert my intelligence into strength, and 1 bronze jewel. All the other items are rares with as much strength as I could get. And I'll admit I spent way too much on this build when I should have. Now skills and links. Ray zombies are linked with Empower level 3, melee physical damage, Ruthless, faster attacks, and minion damage. Oh, one more thing. I am trying to limit my zombie attack speed to be below 1.25 attacks per second. Now, the reason for this is, hopefully it's not gonna sound too complicated. The slam that zombie do, because of Ascendancy and 2 violent dead, has 1.25 second cooldown. So if zombies had more attack speed than 1.25 attacks per second, after doing this slam, because of well, too much attack speed, they would perform another default attack instead of slamming again. And default attacks have accuracy, and only slams cannot be missed. And obviously default attacks have lower damage, so they would lose the damage by having too much attack speed, if that makes sense. I want zombies to only do the slam. So slam is still an attack and it is treated as an attack. So having too much attack speed means you're gonna hit with a default attack instead of performing another slam. And for that reason, instead of using Flesh Offering, I am using Spirit Offering. And I'm not using Haste, and I'm not using Multi-Strike for zombies. Oh, and default attacks only can hit one enemy and does not have AoE. Right, next, I do have Hatred and Anger linked with Generosity and Enlighten. I also do have level 1 Clarity, and I do have it because Ascendancy node gives all resistances to me if I'm affected by Aura. And if I use Generosity, then obviously it does not affect me. And level 1 Clarity is very cheap to implement in your build. Also, I do have level 1 cast and damage taken linked with level 3 phase run. This is to lose the aggro from enemies. Then inside the Baron helmet I am using Animate Guardian linked with Minion life and Fortify. This is just to make my Animate Guardian tanker, and Animate Guardian is just to provide the buffs. Buffs from the items like Dying Breath, Staff, Viktario's Flight boots for movement speed, Leer Cast helmet, and then just body armor like Ambu charge to provide the regen for Guardian, and Southbound gloves to, well, give more life for Guardian. All these items are very cheap, and with them your Guardian should never die. Well, my Guardian died once, but it was extremely rippy situation. Actually, I think it was back when I tried Shaper at level 83 or something like that. But you should not do Shaper at level 83. And my Guardian wasn't leveled enough. Then I also have Lightning Warp, Desecrate, Convocation. I also do have Ball Lighting linked with Curse on the Hit and Warlord's Mark. Now, Warlord's Mark isn't actually needed, but it does give Leech to your zombies, which makes them live longer as long as we can hit something. And also it does provide you extra stun chance, up to 10%. However, against stunner bosses that 10% goes to 4%, and against Shaper and Guardians that 10% goes only down to 2%. That is of course without any curse effectiveness. Now, for the passive skill tree is nothing too special. As a Necromancer you get Zombie Node, and then you get Puppet Master and Commander of Darkness. Or I guess you could get Mistress of Sacrifice if you want to be affected by offerings, which can also provide extra layer of defense. But personally I never liked that node. And here's the rest of the passive skill tree. Of course you grab all the plus extra zombie nodes along with minion damage. You don't need all the minion life nodes because your zombies have over 26,000 life, I believe. And then efficient training goes here, here, and here to provide the most buffs, and Violent Death can go here and here. And I have two more jewel sockets, one for the brawn and another one for minions have a chance to taunt enemies on hit. And that's about all. Actually, this build is not really good for the league start because it does require you to get certain items and get a certain amount of strength, which may be expensive. So if you're looking something for the league start, this is probably not the right choice. I would rather go with skeletons. So yeah, that's all about this build. The next build is probably gonna be Crit Elemental Hit Assassin build. I did really like playing Elemental Hit in the flashback, and I wanted to remake it and well, get it to maps and see how it actually feels in the higher end game. Well, not really end game, but in the higher maps. That video is most likely gonna be a fun one. So that's about all. Thank you for watching and see you soon.